Aloha and welcome to Knitted Paradise, where the needles are clicking and the yarn is squishy. My name is Lucia, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Pearl of the Pacific. Today is Sunday, July 10th, and this is episode 127. Hello everyone, and welcome to my knitting podcast. If this is your first time viewing, then thank you so much for being willing to give me a chance, and if you're returning, thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. Let's get started, I guess. I always start with that, I don't know why, but I do. First things first, announcements, let's start with that. We still have the first annual Friends Fraternal Sock Swap Cow going on, and I've been seeing lots of pictures on Instagram and Ravelry of all the swaps that are going on and friends that are being made, and that makes me really, really happy, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, the hashtag that you can use either on Ravelry or Instagram is FF for Friends Fraternal and then Socks 16. So that's the hashtag ffsocks16. So we're hoping to make this an annual swap and knit along, and you can make lots of new fibery friends, so that's really exciting. And the second announcement that I have is that I got a new camera, so you might be noticing that the lighting and picture might be a little different. I got a new camera for my birthday, and it's a Nikon D5200, and I'm really, really excited about it. So I'm trying it out right now. I have no idea. So my show notes are on my computer over here, so if you see me looking over there, usually I have them on the computer next to, because usually I've been recording on my computer, so I have the show notes and then the screen of, what the picture looks like right next to each other, so it's a little easier for me to do, whereas this, it's a little trickier setup today, so I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get used to the new camera. It's a little bit tricky. I'm still learning. I've had it I got it on Friday because that was my actual birthday. So thank you all for the birthday wishes. That was very, very sweet. I really liked reading those. And yeah, so I've had it since Friday, and I've started playing around with it yesterday. And yeah, this is the first video recording I've ever made on it. I had to watch a few tutorials on how to do it and how to set up all the settings and stuff. So I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try it out, and we're going to see how this works. If it doesn't, you won't be hearing any of this, and I will be re-recording it later on my computer. So let's get started with On the Island. I have socks, lots of socks, again. Maybe someday I'll knit something else, maybe not. I'm okay with either. So let's start with the ones you've seen before, which are the Friends Fraternal socks that I'm knitting with my partner in Canada. And we are doing the Wildflowers and Honeycomb pattern. And I think last time you just saw the toe. Let's see how this autofocus. Is it going to focus? Maybe? I have no idea how this works. We're going to have to try. I have no idea how this autofocus thing works. Anyway, these are the socks. And the toes was the stuff she sent me. And she didn't send me the tag, I don't think, unless I've lost it, I'm totally sorry. But, it's a sparkle fingering, and then the body of the sock is One Twisted Tree Prime in her Hinkypunk colorway. And those are coming out very nicely. I think I'm doing the pattern wrong because it looks really funky. Also, it's written top down and I'm doing it toe up. So I might rip these back and start again. From rip them back to the toe and start again, so the toe is fine. And I'm doing them 2 at a time on size 0 because this is a finer fingering, and I only have a few size 0s, or I did until a couple days ago. I'll tell you more about that later. But it's a nice 40-inch cable, so I thought I'll do them 2 at a time. So those are happening. And alright, I'm just gonna throw things on the floor. That's the easiest way to do this. The other thing, actually I don't think you've seen any of these. Alright, so that's the only thing I think you've seen before. Oh, I did cast on the baby Sophisticate last time, before you saw it. So this is what it looks like now. I forgot I started the sleeve. and I finished the body. And my cousin had her baby on Thursday, which was the 7th, so I did 7 stripes. I also didn't have a lot of blue, so I knew I was going to have to stripe with the red, but then I decided that, oh, I'll do 7 stripes since he was born on the 7th. So their baby is beautiful and healthy, and they got to go home, I think, yesterday, and yeah, so everything is going well in that department. And so I'm working on the sweater, and I finished the body, and the blue is Holiday Yarns, and the red is Leading Mind Fiber Arts, and the gray is Sun Valley Fibers. And I knit the baby sweaters for the twins, my friend's twins, one red and one blue with the gray trim. A few months, or no, they just turned 9 months. Oh my gosh, it was like almost a year ago that I knit those. And so I'm just using those leftovers to knit the same sweater, the baby Sophisticate. So that's what it looks like. And I'm starting on sleeve. I've done 2 rounds. Oh, it's really hard to do this magic loop, and so I was waiting till I got home to use my DPNs. That's why I was like, why did I stop knitting this? I was waiting till I got home to use my DPNs for the sleeve, because I think that'll be a lot easier because it's this tiny little sleeve. And I did the 1 year size because I want him to be able to wear it for a while. And yeah, he's born in July, so I'm gonna see them in August and give it to them then. And what was I gonna say? Oh, he won't be able to wear it till the winter, and they live in California, so I thought I'd make it a little bigger so that he can wear it for a little longer. So it's the baby Sophisticate, and that pattern is by Linden Down. Sorry, I'm used to having the show notes closer, and so I look at them more, whereas now I'm looking more at the camera and not so much the show notes. So sorry, I'm getting used to this. It'll be an adjustment. Hopefully in the right direction, so that's good. Alright, the other thing that I started was the Circuitous Rib Socks by Susie White. And those I'm knitting out of the GnomeAcres Blueberry colorway in her Sporty Gnome. Let's see if I have to figure out how to, maybe I have to turn on autofocus. I don't know, I'll have to look that up. Sorry guys. But that's the colorway, and it is beautiful. And these are going to be for my grandfather. And this is what they look like so far. I'm wondering if these are going to be too big. I'm going to have to try them on my husband. Guy socks always look so big. But he was saying that the last pair I knit him was getting a little small, because he doesn't leave the house a whole lot, and he's almost 90. So, you know, he's still mobile and he still is up and about, but he doesn't, you know, go gallivanting around. Anyway, so his feet are a little swollen, and so he wanted a little bigger socks, and I was like, well, if my 90-year-old grandfather is asking for bigger socks, he gets bigger socks. So these are going to be for him. And yeah, I've just started the pattern, so it's an awesome pattern. You should definitely go check it out. And oh, there's a second one here that I've just done the toe on. I haven't quite started the pattern yet. And those are living in my Maggie Stamps bag, or the Magster. Sorry, she used to be called Maggie Stamps on Instagram. But I just thought the blue and the blue birds go so well together. It's so good. It's really big for a pair of socks, but I don't care. I like having extra room where I can, you know, hold it down and stuff. I love this bag, so thank you so much. But yeah, she is, as I drop the bag on the floor, the Magster. Oh, you can't read that because I have to figure out this autofocus thing. Sorry. Okay, and the other thing that I have on the needles, we're going to go into From the Mainland, because this whole project involves From the Mainland, except for the bag that I've had for a while. This is one of my Doctor Who bags. It has all the Doctors. Well, not the 12th, because they made this bag before there was, or this fabric and this bag before there was a 12th Doctor. So it has 1 through 11 on here. And as a lot of you probably know, Knit Picks re-released a bunch of their Felici colorways and some new colorways, and everyone went crazy for them because they're awesome. And I had been wanting the Time Traveler colorway forever, and I never seemed to get it. Either I'm too late or I put it in my cart and then I'm like, oh, I'll deal with that later because I want to see like if I want anything else, and then by the time I get back it's all gone. And anyway, I never seemed to get any. And so my friend Stephanie, thank you Stephanie, texted me and said, so Felici's back in, do you want any? Because I'm making an order. I said, yes. I said, do they have the Time Traveler colorway? She said, yes, they do. And I said, I want 4 of them. So I got 4 skeins of Time Traveler. So I've got 2 here. I'll just hold these back here for a little bit until I figure out this autofocus thing. So I have 2 skeins here. And then I've got the 2 skeins that I'm knitting because they come in 50-gram balls. And I've never knit with Felici, but it's really soft. It's very fine fingering, I realize, but it's very soft, and I'm very excited about these. So I got 4 skeins of that, or 4 balls. I guess they're not really in skeins. So these are the other 2. I can get them out of here. So these are the ones I'm currently knitting off of. And I'm kind of wishing I had wound these into cakes before I started knitting with them. I mean, you can just knit them from here. I think when I knit the other 2, I'm going to wind them into cakes, just because I think that will be easier. Because otherwise, these are kind of, they're loosely balled, and so they catch on things, or they just kind of generally come undone in random places, and it's kind of hard in, you know, when you're taking it out of the bag, or, you know, when you're pulling at it to keep knitting, it kind of gets caught on things, and sometimes it needs to like reshift itself in there and it doesn't quite work well. So that's a tip I think that I'm passing along, is wind these into a cake before you knit them. I mean, you can knit them from here, and I know there's probably a center pole somewhere. Oh, now I found it on this one. It's harder to find though, I think. Anyway, I found it on this one now that I'm looking, but I can't find it on the other one. That's okay. These are what they are, and I'm enjoying them. And the other thing that I ordered were some size 0 needles. I don't know if my gauge has gotten smaller or the yarn I'm knitting with has gotten finer, which I don't think it really has, but maybe my gauge has gotten looser, which is weird because I feel like I'm a pretty tight knitter. But I've been knitting with less stitches on socks and going down to smaller needles. Maybe I just like a tighter gauge sock as well. Could be a combination of all the above. So I ordered some size 0s because the only ones I have are the 40-inch that I'm using for the Friends Fraternal socks, and another 40-inch one that I'm using on another pair of socks that's been in hibernation for a very long time. But I got some more in the Chowgu red lace. Yes. That is the needle in size 0. And I ordered them from eBay, actually. But yeah, these are I got the 32-inch cable, because the 24 is, like the 32 is a little long for a single sock, but the 24 is too short. So until they make something in between, I'll go with the 32. So I did that, and I can do 2 at a time socks on a 32. I have done it. It's not preferable, but it's possible. So I got these from on eBay. I never ordered needles off of eBay, but they came in like a day and a half. It was ridiculous. It was so fast. So the shop I used was Shop Smartisans. Sorry, I'm looking at the whatchamacallit packing slip. And they were, I think, $9 a piece, which is pretty standard. But I thought that was pretty good. And it was free shipping, so I just paid $18 for the 2. And they came in like 2 days. It was ridiculous, because I thought I was going to have to wait to cast these socks on. You know, wait till the needles came or wait till I cast something off, which isn't happening in the near future for 0s, because I realized that this yarn the Knitpicks Felici is really fine. But they came in this nice, whatchamacallit, like a hard cardboard envelope, and so they weren't going to bend or anything, and I thought that was really great. I will definitely order needles from them again. So my under the coconut question this week is, where do you get your knitting needles? I would like to know. I never ordered them from eBay. I often would get them from the Loopy U or a local yarn store. I think most of mine have actually come from local yarn stores now that I'm thinking about it. Like I'm there for something else or I need them right away, and so often I'll call them and see if they have them before I go in, because parking is a pain near all of them near me, in Chicago and the ones in Evanston, or the one in Evanston. But I don't really want to have to deal with parking if I don't have to in the city. I am definitely a country person. Grew up next to a cow pasture, and yeah, don't like city driving at all. I avoid it at all costs. Anyway, moving on. So I got needles and yarn, and here are the socks. I started these yesterday, and I'm just doing plain stockinette because that's the easiest for self-striping socks. And I did, I picked the balls that started, they don't all start at the same color, which is kind of annoying. So I picked the ones that started closest to the right color, or the same color. So I have a bit of yellow in here, and a smaller bit of yellow pulled out from this one. And so that they could be started at the same point. And yeah, so these are coming along. So that's one full repeat right there, if you're wondering. And I'm going to do, I think I'm about to the gusset on this one. I have tiny feet. And I'm going to do a garter stitch heel on them, partly because I've never done one and I want to try one, and partly because I thought that would be a nice kind of homage to the original Doctor Who scarf for the 4th Doctor that was knit in garter stitch. The ones now, or the often the ones you find in stores and are done in stockinette in the round. But I wanted to do like an homage to the garter stitch scarf. So that's going to happen on those. I have no idea how it's going to work, but we're going to try it out. I know Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears just did one, and she said it took her forever, so we're going to see how long it takes me. A normal heel doesn't take me very long, but that's because I knit them all the time. I don't really have to think about it anymore. It just, like, it's like, oh, I'm at the heel, okay, turn the heel, keep going. It's not a huge deal, but I've never done a garter stitch heel, so we're going to try it out, see how it goes. So those I'm having fun with. Those I knit yesterday while I was out and about in Chicago. I went downtown to meet my husband after work, and we had some fun adventures, and I knit on that sock, so I got a lot of knitting done because it was just, you know, train rides are great, and it's just stockinette, so I could just knit while doing other things. Okay, that was a nice jaunt from the mainland. Now we're going to go back to set sail. And I finished a pair of socks. Are you surprised? Not really. I finished the Blueberry Waffle socks that I was knitting with my other swap partner. And the Blueberry Waffles pattern, is by Sandy Turner. And the main yarn that I used is Freckled Whimsy in the Whimsy base, in the Hope Floats, and the, Raventwist, Starri, and Thunderbird is the heels, toes, and cuff. And I'm very, very happy with how these turned out. The Freckled Whimsy, the Whimsy base, is really soft. I really like it, and I think there will be more of that in my future. That was another bucket list yarn for me. I know I talked about bucket list yarns last time, was some Freckled Whimsy. She was also in my bag bucket list, and so now I have both, so that's very exciting. And I have my super secret project living in her bag right now, so I'm not going to show you the project. So I'm very excited about wearing these. I think they will go with a lot of things, which is very exciting. The weather's been rather warm, so I don't think I'm going to be wearing them anytime soon, but hopefully in the near future. Sometimes it gets a little chilly at work because of the air conditioning. I also get cold pretty easily, so these might be good to take to work for that. So these are done, and yes, very excited. So that was the only thing I finished. The, I don't think I had done From the Mainland. Maybe I should have actually watched that first part. I had done the Felici and the needles, but I hadn't talked about the other things from the Mainland. So let's do that. I had, of course, now they're scattered all over the place. So one of the things I got was, I came home on Tuesday and my husband said, "You have 5 packages waiting for you." I was like, 5 packages? I mean, I know I ordered a couple things and I knew some people were sending me things, but it seems like a lot of packages. But it was so totally awesome to open all of them. And one of them was this sweet package from Meredith of the Wool Gathering podcast of some minis from my blanket, which I was very excited about. So it came in this cute little box with a card and some tea. And, of course, some minis that are all hand wound and ready to knit with. So I'm very excited. I've been holding off knitting on my blanket with these because I wanted to save them and show them to you because they're so sweet. And she also sent me a Madeline Tosh unicorn tail, which I'd never had. So I'm very excited about that. And they will all go very well in my blanket. So thank you so much, Meredith. That was really sweet. And I'm very excited to try this tea. There's one that's like maple, something, I don't know, it's in French. Oh no, it's carob, apples, maple, chamomile. Oh my gosh, this sounds like the best thing ever. So I'm very excited to try that. And then some Earl Grey and lemon ginger. Lemon ginger is another one of my favorites. So those I think will have to be drink it soon. Probably at work where it's chilly, not in my house where it's a little warm. So I was very excited about that. Put it over here. And here are the other 2 balls of Felici. I don't know if I showed those. I can't remember. It's the things like the second time you try to record things, you forget half the things that you've said, and it's very odd re-recording things, I will say that. Especially when you don't, if you have to re-record the whole thing, then you're like, okay, now I know what I have to say. But if you're just re-recording part of it, I don't know what I said and what I didn't. So I'm sorry if I repeat myself. Another thing I got was a yarn order from Berry Colorful Yarnings. She also sent me a pin, which was very sweet. I'll add that to my knitting pin collection. And this was a colorway that I saw on Instagram, and I asked her about it. I said, "Are you dyeing that anytime soon?" Because I need this colorway. So this is going to be for my brother. I don't think he watches the podcast, but if you do, please skip ahead like 2 minutes so that you don't ruin your surprise. Thanks. I really don't think he watches, but just in case. So my brother is a huge Patriots fan, and I have been looking all over for the perfect Patriots yarn, and I found it. It is the Pat's colorway by Berry Colorful Yarnings. It's a self-striping with all of the Patriots colors, and Boston Jen of the Downseller Studio podcast was knitting with some on Instagram, and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's it, that's the yarn I've been looking for months. So I'm very excited to have some, and yes, this is very awesome. So those are going to be surprise socks for my brother for his birthday, which is in September, and I'm actually going to be visiting him on his birthday on my way to visit my parents in Hawaii, which is happening late September. It's very, very exciting. That's been a trip a long time in the making. I haven't been home in, gosh, 3.5 years, and I thought, you know what, it's about time. And so we figured out how to make it happen and made it happen. But on the way, I'm going to stop and see my brother who lives in California and spend his birthday weekend with him. So I'm going to give him these socks. And she also sent me, which I thought was super fun, some football stitch markers. So there's a football and then the helmet. I would show you up close, but I haven't figured out the autofocus yet. Sorry. So those are, I've been tucking them in the ball band to keep them together. But I'm super excited about that. And I also have heard lots of wonderful things. So she was kind of on the end of the bucket list as well. because I just heard so many wonderful things about her yarn, so that was awesome. And the last thing I got in the mail was a surprise birthday present from my friend Stephanie. She sent me this awesome knitting mug. It's got cables and some like stockinette stitches, so it looks like a sweater, which is fun because she's the sewer behind the Rusted Stitch who makes bags from sweaters. So I thought this was really fun as like a representation of what she does. I have one of her bags, and then she also makes the needle sweaters now, and which are really fun. And the inside is this light like grayish blue, which I love. It's kind of the color of my eyes. I realized when watching the recording back that my eyes look very light. They are about this color, this like light grayish blue. It's very pretty. So I'm very excited. I might have to have some of my tea from Meredith in my mug from Stephanie. So it'll be my knitting tea. So I'm very, very excited about that. That's my first knitting related mug. So I'm very excited about that. I think from the mainland, let's see, I got all the other things. I talked about the new camera in the beginning, which I'm apparently still getting used to. It's a learning process, right? The other thing that I got was yesterday when I went downtown to, I met my husband after work and we had lunch, and then we went to Build-A-Bear because I had heard that there was a Spock bear for the 50th Star Trek that's happening this year because it's the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And they had this special edition Spock bear, and I was like, I think I need this Spock bear. So my husband got it for me for my birthday, so we went, and he's got the Live Long and Prosper in his hand, which I just think is so fun. And he can, you get a little outfit, and he's got the ears and the eyebrows, and very fun. And on his feet it says Live Long and Prosper, and then Star Trek with a 50 in the chevron in the middle, which I think is really fun. And I did add the sound where if you press his hand it plays the Star Trek theme. Maybe I'll do that at the end because it's not that long, but it's most of the theme, which I think is really funny. And so you go through the whole process of, you know, you pick them out and then you get them stuffed, and I made mine kind of, you do the hug test, they call it. And I made mine kind of firm because I know that over time the stuffing tends to compact, and I didn't want him to end up limp after, you know, years, because I plan on keeping him for a long time. And so I made him a little portly. It's okay, I still like him. He's nice and soft and fuzzy. So I'm very excited about that. And I decided last night we were watching Star Trek with your Spock bear, as one does, right? Can you tell I like Star Trek? Just a little. And I got out my Spock socks, and I think I have enough yarn to make him some. So these, I actually have 2 pairs of Spock socks. I have, so I need to put those down somewhere. I have a full-size pair, or like a full leg pair rather, sorry, not full size. And then I have ankle socks, some of the leftovers. And this is Turtle Pearl, their Live Long and Prosper colorway. And I have, oh, the toes of these is something else. I think it's Lorna's laces. I'm not entirely sure. But I have just a little bit left of it. And so I'm thinking this combined with the leftovers of this gold would probably be enough for socks for him. So I'm going to try that out. I think that's a really fun idea. I was wondering, I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I could have made these little tubs, but like the whole point was having the short socks. And I was like, yes, that's what I was saving it for, apparently. I didn't even know. So, this is Spock, Spock the bear. She was like, oh, you can name him something else. Oh, he comes with a birth certificate. So you get a birth certificate, which I think is really fun. And so I chose his date of birth as July 8th because that's my birthday. So we have the same birthday. Just he was born in 2016 and I was born 30 years earlier. I just thought that's really fun. So it was really fun just going through the whole process. I'd never been to Build-A-Bear because I don't have kids to take to Build-A-Bear. But she actually, the lady who helped us actually, you know, like took me through the whole process of, you know, the stuffing, and then you pick out a little heart, And, you know, you rub it and you make a wish, and then you rub it against your heart, and then, you know, you like give it a kiss or something, and then stick it in the bear, and it was really cute, actually. You know, I just went with it. I was like, you know what, this is what you're doing while I build a bear. It's like, I don't care if I look silly. It was fun. So I got myself a Spock, or my husband rather got me the Spock bear, which is really fun. He's living in my little chair over here at the moment. And I think that's it. I'm hoping this is still recording. I have no idea. The recording thing is blinking at me, so I'm thinking that means it's recording. I'm still learning this camera. Sorry, guys. But I think this is it, and for this week. And yeah, I think I get everything now that I'm looking around. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I will hopefully talk about it next week. Oh, I forgot to, now that I'm saying goodbye, I'm looking in the background. These are some roses that my husband got me for my birthday that I wanted to put in the back. And I was taking pictures of them this morning with my camera, and I realized he got me 8 roses because I was born on the 8th. And I thought that was really sweet. I hadn't counted them before because he got them to me like right before we were about to have people over to celebrate my birthday. We just had a few friends over for games and food, and so I was concentrating on like getting that ready, and so I, you know, cut them and put them in the vase and put them on the table so they look pretty. And then this morning I was like, oh, there's 8 roses because my birthday's on the 8th. So I thought that was really cute. But I wanted to show this off in the background there. So thank you all. Hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!